All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're exploring an engineering mind so far ahead of his time, his legacy could literally rewrite the history of technology as you know it. So, let me ask you a question. Who do you think was the greatest engineering mind in all of history? A few names probably pop into your head, right? Da Vinci, maybe Newton. But what if the person who truly earned that title is someone you've likely never even heard of? The source material we're diving into today opens with this really provocative line. It suggests a hidden history is about to be revealed, you know? It kind of sets the stage for a story that's all about correcting the record. And no, we're not talking about Leonardo da Vinci for all his brilliant sketches, and it wasn't Isaac Newton who literally defined the laws of our universe. The answer? Well, it lies centuries earlier in a completely different part of the world. So, who was this forgotten figure? Let's pull back the curtain on a true pioneer of engineering. Our story begins, not in Renaissance Europe, but right in the heart of the Islamic Golden Age. And it's about a man whose work is so astonishing it can still baffle modern engineers today. Before we even get to his name, you need to know his title, the father of robotics. Yeah, you heard that right. It turns out the core concepts of automation have roots stretching back nearly 1,000 years. Now, to really get a sense of his genius, you have to look at the time period. While much of Europe was in a period of relative stagnation, this scholar was designing and building these incredibly complex, self-operating machines called automata. And here is his full name, Badi al-Zaman Abu al-Iz ibn Ismail Al-Jazari. Now, just for simplicity, we'll be calling him Al-Jazari. So let's place him in time, shall we? He was born in 1136 in what is now modern-day Turkey. Al-Jazari did his most groundbreaking work throughout the 12th century. We're talking centuries before the European Renaissance even got going. Okay, now let's get to the incredible part, his inventions. This is really where science fiction seems to become historical fact. See, Al-Jazari wasn't just an engineer, he was an artist. He brilliantly merged physics and math with just stunning creativity, harnessing natural forces to create machines that actually moved on their own. And then he documented them in a book so detailed that his drawings, which, by the way, included the first known designs for a crankshaft, can still serve as blueprints today. I mean, can you imagine a clock that didn't just tell time? Al-Jazari built these enormous, ornate water clocks that had automated figures which would move and trigger sounds, like birds chirping, at set intervals. It's just amazing. His most famous creation was the elephant clock. This thing was a true marvel. Its internal mechanisms had this hidden water-powered system of weights and pulleys that would trigger a whole symphony of moving figures from different cultures every single half hour. It was this beautiful celebration of both technology and global knowledge. And while these grand devices were absolutely incredible, Al-Jazari also applied his mind to everyday problems. He was a real innovator focused on practical automation. For example, he designed an automated machine for wudu, the ritual washing before prayer. It functioned completely on its own, providing water to a user without any manual intervention. It's a perfect example of automation for practical daily purpose. The source material actually poses this question to highlight his most significant achievement, an invention that really pushes the definition of automata and brings us incredibly close to our modern concept of a robot. So, what was this first robot? Well, it was an automated servant. This machine could serve water to a guest, perform a gesture of respect, and then, get this, return to refill itself, all without any human help. A complete automated system designed way back in the 12th century. Now, to really grasp the significance of Al-Jazari's work, we need to understand the world he lived in, because it was truly a tale of two different intellectual climates. The source material draws a pretty stark contrast here. On one hand, you have Al-Jazari pioneering automated systems during the Islamic Golden Age, a period of intense scientific flourishing. And on the other, much of Europe was in a period that the source describes as being marked by relative scientific stagnation. So the central argument being presented here is that geniuses like Al-Jazari weren't just